When it comes to orchestral sampling, it's very easy to become overwhelmed by all the choices. What instruments should I sample? What spaces should I record in? How large does my team have to be, and what is the end product going to be like? Are people going to be happy with my efforts? These are all very valid questions, and this is where the saying of less is more becomes so valuable. Rather than spreading yourself thin, focus on your strengths and where most of the results are coming from and make them great. Cinematic Studio Series lies at the heart of this philosophy, and in this video we're going to cover everything you need to know about the company, including their products, the workflow, the pricing, sound, and more. If at any point you want to learn more about these libraries and what they can offer, I'd highly recommend you downloading my sample library buyer's guide in the description box. This will provide you with a comprehensive look at my personal preferences, the prices, how to use them in your workflow, and so much more. Plus, it's 100% free, so grab your coffee or pop or juice, sit back, and enjoy. Cinematic Series made their mark all the way back in 2012 with Cinematic Strings 2. Recorded in a large concert hall with a large string ensemble, this library features all the common workhorse articulations you would need for string mockups, including sustains, legato, tremolo, trills, staccato, staccatissimo, and pizzicato with Bartok snap, as well as a runs mode and multiple round robins. This library became a staple in many composer setups, known for its gorgeous sound, ease of use, and playable nature. Later on, the company decided to focus on a smaller studio sound for all the orchestral sections, fit for a variety of scoring situations. Rebranded as Cinematic Studio Series, they launched Cinematic Studio Strings, or CSS, to instant success and popularity. Ever since, they've launched solo strings, brass, and woodwinds, with the percussion currently in progress at the time of this recording. The vision of this company has always lied in simplicity, ease of use, and consistency. All of the libraries, with the exception of the piano, feature a near identical interface allowing you to key switch between different articulations, as well as copying and pasting MIDI data across channels with surprisingly good results. The product suite is so small that you'd be hard-pressed to find anything confusing about the website, and once you start loading in the patches and start playing, you're greeted with a warm sound that puts you in the scoring stage. This is truly a no-frills approach, as each library features the minimal number of patches needed to complete the library, and there are no extra knobs and faders that need adjustment when you're working on your mockups. While this may scare off some people who enjoy having huge numbers of articulations to work with and tens of microphone positions to choose from, it's an ideal approach for the composer who simply wants to sit down and play, including myself. In the end, the aim is to provide you with convincing results within minutes, without the need for excessive editing and tweaking. The libraries are also created for Kontakt players, so you don't need the full version of Kontakt to get started. This brings us to the sound and tone of the libraries. Cinematic Studio Series has recorded all of their orchestral libraries in Australia's premier scoring stage called Trackdown. It's a medium-sized stage comparable in size to common scoring stages found in Los Angeles and around the world. Out of the box, you're greeted with a sound that can generally be described as dark, warm, and full. While there isn't too much information on the website, we do know that a variety of ribbon and condenser microphones were used to record the instruments at various distances, giving you microphone options to mix and match. However, the libraries also come with a mix position that sounds great out of the box and that I use 95% of the time in my end products. In order to match other similar libraries, you might find yourself using some EQ to boost the high end and reduce some of the sub-room frequencies, but the clarity of the samples is simply beautiful. In addition, the Cinematic Studio Series libraries features one of the best legato engines in the industry. No matter what type of line you're playing, you're essentially guaranteed a smooth, melodic sounding line as long as you ensure the notes are overlapped properly and you're riding the mod wheel. This ease of use is what makes the series so popular, and combined with the fact that the musicians perform in a very passionate and emotional manner, allows you to get lost in the performance rather than the technical aspects. All this being said, none of this would really matter if the libraries were priced out of most consumer budgets. Luckily, Cinematic Studio Series has us covered here as well. The libraries on offer range from $70 for the piano to $400 maximum for each orchestral section, putting these at a very respectable price range for most hobbyists looking for dedicated section work. Although you don't get every articulation under the sun, what is included is typically done very well, and the libraries more than pay for themselves after a few uses. Alas, there are no a la carte or free options, so you don't get to try the samples before you buy, but most consumers seem to be more than satisfied with what they receive. In addition, these libraries also rarely go on sale, so customers can rest assured knowing that what they're paying for is the true represented value of these samples. For those studying or teaching at an institution, the company does offer EDU discounts on a case-by-case basis. They were very kind to partner with me and offer a 20% EDU discount for students of my course Cinematic Music Creation, which you can get access to on my website christophersu.com and take advantage of immediately. So how do these libraries work in practice, and how do they feel under the fingers? The first thing you may notice is that there's a delay between when you press the keys versus when the sound comes out. This built-in delay allows the system to analyze your performance and adapt to it while creating realistic results. Some composers feel this is a detriment to their workflow, and so they've downloaded and installed pre-delay plugins to nudge the MIDI notes back or simply shift the sound earlier. Now, I personally don't have any problem with nudging the MIDI notes back myself after the performance, as it's all part of the editing and polishing process, but that is something to keep in mind if you are considering these libraries. Otherwise, I find them very easy to use, and if I'm only using one articulation, then you can very easily unload the others to save on RAM. I'm very comfortable performing exposed melodies using these instruments, as it feels like there's been special attention paid to the connectivity and smoothness between every note. For me, these libraries are truly the definition of plug and play. Finally, let's touch on the outreach and marketing of this company. This is one area where Cinematic Studio Series is quite different from the rest. Rather than releasing trailers that build product awareness and build hype, it's very common for them to simply release a walkthrough video at the same time as the product launch, effectively catching us by surprise and letting us ponder whether it's a good fit for us or not. This works to their advantage because instead of listing launch dates and having them possibly pushed back to unforeseen circumstances, Alex and the team can simply launch whenever they feel the product is ready for the market. It's true that they don't release libraries as quickly as other developers, but that's because they really make sure to polish and perfect each library before publication. If you ask me, that's a recipe for happy customers and long-term loyalty. So ultimately, where does Cinematic Studio Series stand, and are their libraries right for you? Well, if you're a composer who enjoys sound design-based libraries or orchestral libraries with a flurry of articulations and tweakability, then you'll want to look elsewhere. However, if you want a set of workhorse libraries that are dependable, playable, and sound great out of the box, you'd be hard-pressed to find a lineup more consistent than what Cinematic Studio Series offers. My favorites are currently the strings, solo strings, and woodwinds, as they find their way into almost every track I work on and sound great quickly. If you're interested in learning more about these libraries and some other options to consider, then please download my sample library buyer's guide. I put it together to collect all my favorite libraries into one digestible resource and make the world of sample collecting and buying so much simpler. You'll see prices, recommendations, common and niche categories, and so much more designed to help you narrow your focus to what you really need. And it's totally free, so you literally have no reason not to download it. Just click the first link in the description box and you'll have access to it right away. Thank you again for watching, and if you'd like to see me make another video like this on another developer, let me know which in the comments below. It's always fun exploring the world of samples, and the amount of choice we have today is simply staggering. So let's do this together. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next video. Thank you so much and take care.